Welcome to State of the Offense, fantasy football talk for your favorite team's offense, the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs will be starting a new left tackle this season as they lost Orlando Brown Jr. to the Cincinnati Bengals. In his place is Donovan Smith, who has spent his entire 8-year career in Tampa Bay. With the Bucs, Smith played in 13 games with a 78.1% snap share, and he graded at a 73. His 73 grade places him in the 29 to 30 range of projected starting left tackles. Smith was signed to a 1-year deal. Left guard Joe Thuney is entering his third season with the Chiefs. Thuney played in 15 games with an 86.2% snap share with an 88 grade. His 88 grade made him the number 3 left guard in the NFL. Center Creed Humphrey produced an 88 grade, which made him the number 5 center in the league. Humphrey played in all 17 games, and he had a 99.4% snap share. Right guard Trey Smith graded at an 81 in his second season as a pro. Smith tied Cincinnati's Alex Kappa as the 8th best right guard in football. Right tackle Jawan Taylor was signed in free agency. In Jacksonville, Taylor played in all 17 games with a 97.6% snap share. His 79 grade ranked him as the 10th right tackle in the game. The Chiefs have some uncertainty long-term at left tackle, but the other 4 positions are secured and should grow well together over the next few years. In 2022, Patrick Mahomes had career highs in completion percentage, yards passing, rushing yards per carry, and rushing touchdowns. He is now a 2-time Super Bowl winning starting quarterback, and he has taken the mantle as the best quarterback in the NFL. Mahomes was the quarterback 1 in fantasy football both in total points as well as average points per game. He is the quarterback 1 on draft boards, and his ADP is in the 14th spot. If you want the security of elite quarterback production, Mahomes is possibly the safest bet amongst the top quarterbacks getting drafted. He has a proven track record of durability and production. I rate Mahomes as my quarterback 2 as my 4th player overall. I currently rate Jalen Hurts ahead of him. The main reason is that I believe that Jalen Hurts is an ascending player, more rushing upside than Mahomes. With Mahomes, I believe that the uncertainty of the wide receiver core may catch up to him statistically this year. The Kansas City wide receiver situation is less certain this year, even more so than it was last year. Juju Smith-Schuster is in New England. The top returning statistical wide receiver is Marquez Valdes-Scantling. MVS has been a complimentary wide receiver his whole career. Will he attract the 101 targets that Juju Smith-Schuster did last year? MVS was the wide receiver 54 in total points and the wide receiver 77 in average points per game. He is currently the wide receiver 70 in ADP, and he's barely getting drafted. I am higher on Valdes-Scantling than his ADP. He is my wide receiver 48 and my 115th player overall. Mid-season trade acquisition, Kadarius Toney is the top wide receiver on the depth chart. Toney has been injury-prone throughout his career. He has only played 19 out of 34 possible games since he was drafted. He partially tore a meniscus this offseason at practice. In fantasy, he was the wide receiver 100 in total points and the wide receiver 84 in points per game. He is the wide receiver 46 drafted at pick 120, which makes him the last pick of the 10th round. If he is the number 1 wide receiver on the team, can he stay healthy through a 100-target season? I rate Toney as my wide receiver 47 and my 112th player overall. I believe in his talent and his situation, but there is a lot of risk associated with Kadarius Toney. The 3rd wide receiver on the depth chart is 2022 second-round pick Sky Moore. Moore started off slowly as a rookie, but the fact that he had meaningful snaps in the Super Bowl, even catching a touchdown in the Super Bowl, verifies that the organization believes in his talent and eventual development. Sky Moore is currently the wide receiver 49 drafted at the 143 spot in the 12th round. Interestingly, in the playoffs, Sky Moore outsnapped Kadarius Toney in every game, and their snap totals for the playoffs were Sky Moore 72, Kadarius Toney 30. The 4th wide receiver in the mix is second-round pick Rashee Rice from Southern Methodist University. Rice is a mid-sized receiver whose best strength in college was winning jump balls. I expect him to follow a similar learning curve to the league as Sky Moore did last year. Travis Kelce is a cheat code in fantasy football. His dominance at the tight end position makes him an indispensable part of fantasy championship teams, all from the tight end position, which is the toughest position to score fantasy points. Kelce has the best positional advantage in fantasy football. Because of this, you have to consider drafting Travis Kelce as early as the first overall pick. He is my number one player this year because Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes get this guy the ball as a true number one option. No one in the wide receiver core is a real threat to Travis Kelce since Tyreek Hill became a Dolphin. If you don't believe that a tight end should go number one, I ask how risky is drafting a first ballot Hall of Fame player who's a generational talent at his position? Don't overthink this. The only thing that can stop Travis Kelce is injury, and you can say that about every player in the league. It's football. Injury risk is always a factor, but when you have a Tony Gonzalez, Rob Gronkowski, or Travis Kelce level tight end, you take advantage of it and you gamble on greatness. Kelce's ADP is player 5 overall. Kelce's backup is Noah Gray, who is a very under-the-radar sleeper. Gray was ahead of all the running backs in total offensive snaps last year, and if he would have been a wide receiver, he would have been the wide receiver 3 in total snaps. In his career, Gray has caught almost 80% of the targets thrown to him. No one is drafting Noah Gray right now, but you have to understand that he had a 52% snap share in the regular season and a 59.1% snap share in the playoffs. His 34 targets tied him with Mecole Hardman and Justin Watson. If he gets more involved in the passing game and in the game plans early in the season, he will become fantasy relevant from the tight end position. Isaiah Pacheco emerged as the number one rusher on the team. Pacheco provides a hard running style and breakaway speed. Pacheco was the running back 36 in points scored and the running back 49 in points per game in PPR leagues. Isaiah Pacheco is currently getting drafted as the 25th running back and the 67th player overall. In PPR formats, Isaiah Pacheco is getting totally overdrafted as a 6th round pick. I rate Pacheco as my running back 33 and my 128th player overall. Jerick McKinnon served as number one receiving back. In PPR formats, he was the running back 19 in total points and the running back 26 in points per game. Jerick McKinnon is currently the running back 38 getting drafted, and he's going at pick 105. McKinnon is my running back 32 and my 126th player overall. McKinnon was targeted 71 times, caught 56 balls for 512 yards. McKinnon also caught 9 touchdowns. Clyde Edwards-Helaire was the running back 49 in points and the running back 40 in points per game in PPR formats. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is the running back 55 getting drafted and the player 150. As long as it appears that he's Kansas City's running back 3, he's undraftable. He's had some injury troubles, but this guy has produced before, and he can overtake either Pacheco or McKinnon. And this may end up being a 3-man backfield that is very unpredictable from week to week. It doesn't really matter where you draft Mahomes or Kelce, they are going to win you weeks in fantasy football. The running back and wide receiver positions can turn out to be headaches for fantasy players because the Chiefs run a lot of packages and rotate a lot of players in and out. The safer bets are Jerick McKinnon and Marquez Valdes-Scantling. The riskiest players are Isaiah Pacheco and Kadarius Toney. The sleepers are Sky Moore and Noah Gray. Coach Andy Reid has built something special in Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes is currently the NFL's alpha quarterback. Super Bowl hangover and a loaded AFC might make getting the Super Bowl more difficult, but if the Chiefs stay healthy on offense, they have record-breaking potential. As long as Mahomes is playing, the Chiefs can win any game they play. If you like today's coverage of the Kansas City Chiefs offense, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.